Need for Speed is a very special racing game franchise. Not only has it stood the test of time when other arcade racing series faded out, but it's also one of the most diverse racing series I've ever played. Yet this variety has been both a blessing and a curse for its fans and developers. In this video, I want to talk about Need for Speed's identity crisis, covering where it started, how it's caused issues, and what I believe needs to be done to tackle the problem. Let's take a step back to understand how the series has changed over time. Started in 1994, Need for Speed was all about racing high-performance supercars while being chased by the police, and taking place in rural and exotic environments. There were no open worlds, no stories, and really no vehicle customization. The series continued with this style until the release of Underground in 2003. This one game completely shifted what Need for Speed was, as now you are racing highly customizable tuner cars in urban environments with no police and a story. This was further expanded in Underground 2 with the addition of an open world. Although the Underground games were technically spin-offs, their influence was so great that many of the sequels followed a similar formula that they had laid. We also got other spin-offs like Pro Street and Shift, which continued to expand the different styles of the series. This doesn't even cover the big change in vehicle handling, going from grippy handling to a brake-to-drift model with the release of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit in 2010. There are more aspects I could cover, but when taking everything into consideration, there are essentially two main formulas of the series, this being Hot Pursuit and Underground. Many of the games that are not under those names are usually tweaks to those two styles. For example, Most Wanted kept most of the Underground formula while bringing back police and supercars from the Hot Pursuit formula. Rivals used the Hot Pursuit formula, now incorporating an open world, and if you want to even consider it, a minuscule story. While those examples can be considered their own separate styles, they are still a derivative of those two main styles I talked about. So with all this changes and experimentation over the years, this has led to the identity problems that the series is facing now. Firstly, many fans have settled on what style of game they want from the series. For me personally, as much as I enjoy Underground and Carbon, I still prefer the original classic Hot Pursuit formula. Hot Pursuit 2 and Hot Pursuit 2010 were the games I put the most time into, so that's the style I want. Yet there are also plenty of fans who don't like that formula and want something different. This in turn has caused a huge rift in the community as many people are fighting on what they want from the next game. This also means that no matter what the developers do, someone will be left out because it's impossible to cover all these formulas and gameplay mechanics in one game. Secondly, the mainline games have stagnated in variety. Since Most Wanted 2012, every game has been open world. Since Rivals in 2013, we haven't had a proper Hot Pursuit styled game. Since Need for Speed 2015, every game has had a story. Also, all the different styles of games that we used to get, like Hot Pursuit, Pro Street, and Shift, are just gone. Even when the developers try to please everyone, it comes out feeling disjointed. The game that best represents this problem is Need for Speed Heat. It tries to have both grippy and drifty handling. It has Pro Street inspired legal street racing events in the day, and Underground styled night racing with cops. Heat is the amalgamation of trying to combine multiple Need for Speed styles into one, and for me personally, it just falls short. That doesn't make it a bad game by any means, but it can feel disconnected with what it's trying to be. In saying all of this, I realized something important. I originally planned to say that Need for Speed needs to find its identity, which many have said for years now. Yet the more I looked into it, the more I realized that this way of thinking completely disregards what makes this series special. Need for Speed doesn't have a set identity, and that's okay. No other racing series has been as diverse and as adaptable as Need for Speed, which is why it's lasted as long as it has. So instead of trying to get rid of its variety, both the fans and developers should embrace the variety. For the developers, they need to continue with the established sub-series. Make a new Hot Pursuit game, a new Underground, a new Pro Street, a new Shift. The possibilities are endless. You could even get multiple developers like what Call of Duty does to help with this. Plus, it would help to please many fans that are feeling left out currently. Especially as a Hot Pursuit fan myself, not having that style of game since Rivals absolutely sucks. It's clear that the method of trying to appease everyone in one game is just not working. For the fans, we have to be more open to the games that aren't the Need for Speed formula we want. Half the reason why we are here today is how many fans disregarded spin-offs in different Need for Speed styles. Nowadays, people will look fondly back on games like Pro Street, yet when it was released, it got a lot of criticism for not being Need for Speed, which people still say of the Shift series to this day. Even for games like Hot Pursuit 2010, it still got flack from some fans because of it bringing back the original classic formula. If we want the variety of games that we used to get, we have to be open to it. Obviously, this is probably not what many people expected or wanted to hear about Need for Speed's identity crisis. It's easy to say that the series needs to find its identity without really diving into the issue fully. However, I think it's time that we see the diversity of the series as a good thing instead of something negative. If the developers start making more varied games, and the fans start being more open to different Need for Speed styles, I feel like the series could finally get back some of its strength that has waned over the years. The series has stagnated so much that it's lost what made it special. It's time to bring back Need for Speed's best asset, its variety. This has been Gamer Alex. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great day.